Hey guys, Jeff Hi-Fri here. Today we're going to take a look at the Mangird Tea. I saw your comments from a couple videos back about the video quality. I do apologize. I'm trying to find my right setup here. The audio may be coming out of one channel. It's just because of the phone that I have. I need to make some repairs to it. I've already replaced the screen a few times and taken it apart a bunch of times. Eventually I'll upgrade my video quality, but this is what I have right now. So I had a friend contact me. He's contacted me a couple times about various threads on what is it, Hi-Fi guides or Hi-Fri, I think it is. I don't really go on there, but anyway, he had a friend of his contact him, and he said he had a pair of Manger Ts that had a broken driver in them. So today I am going to open it up. You guys will get to see the insides, and I'll do a little bit of diagnosing. Nothing crazy. I'm just going to get into the basics of it. So here are the IEMs. You can see the beautiful finish. Got some carbon fiber, some copper coated foil. It's not gold. It's just like a copper flake. It's pretty cheap stuff. You can pick it up on Amazon or whatever. What's that? Looks like there's a little imperfection in the shell there. Yeah, a little imperfection right there. Anyway, these IEMs are very well constructed, very high quality for the amount of money that you pay for them. Very good high driver count for what you pay for them. So they're 1DD, 6BA. The BA consists of a Knowles Sonian setup. You have two Knowles 33518. So two Knowles 33518 for the BA. I actually have a couple right here. Show you guys. So I also use these in my OnePlus 3. So this is the 33518. And basically these are like the cheapest Knowles treble BA that you can get. They run approximately $12 per pair. They're very much worth it. If you ever find an IEM that's like a hybrid or whatever, companies can skimp out on the other BA. So like for example, these are a few more BA from my OnePlus 3. These are e-audio, so you can see they're unbranded. One is a 29689, the other is a 50060. But when it comes to treble BA, you don't want to skimp out on the BA. You want to go with the very best that you can get for a reasonable price, and those are Knowles. So I don't ever use anything cheaper than Knowles for my treble, just because it's a long story, but you just can't skimp on a treble BA. So anyway, long story short, they use two of the 33518 for the treble, and then for the mid BAs there are four Sonian. Let me move it over a little bit so you can see kind of the bottom of them. So there's 2 and 2. There are no dual BAs inside here. Every model is just a single BA that they glued together. And real quick, I will show you guys. Let me just pause for a second. I'll show you the mid BAs that are inside. Alright guys, I'm back. Let me show you everything that the Mangird Tea consists of. So DD, some BA in the frame there. Couple of these. Move all this over just a little bit. All right. Alright, so the Mangird Tea, what all do you get when you buy these? You get, let me use this. Alright, so you get 4 of the Sonyan BA. These are Sonyan. I'll read you the model in a minute. Can't say it off the top of my head. It's too many numbers and letters. You get 2 of the 33518 in each BA, and then you get, and I think this is bullshit, but don't quote me on that, I could be wrong, but you get these so-called German manufactured biofiber DD. They're crystal polymer something, I don't know, crystal some shit, whatever. Anyway, so these are the DD that you get inside the Manger T, and you can see there's the PU or polymer or whatever surround ring. It's like a rubber, and then you can see. Yeah, there we go. See, now my phone focuses on its own. In the last video, for whatever reason, it wouldn't focus. But yeah, you can see the fibers inside the DD, and it's really hard. The material is, I'm actually pushing on it right now. You can't tell, but I'm pushing on it and it's hard. So this is the DD. This is the back of the DD. This is a dampener that I just kind of stuck on there, so it's kind of coming off a little bit. So this is what the back of it looks like. And the failure mode for these, so there's a few failure modes. Failure mode has something to do with this coating that's on here. The coating is susceptible to moisture ingress, and you can actually see how there's deformation right in the middle here. But when I push on the outside, it's completely hard. I don't know if you can see that. See, it's like really hard. But right in the middle there, you can see it's easily deformed. So what happens is moisture gets in here and it like deforms them, so they get stuck. And I actually think this one might be stuck. Yeah, this one looks like it's stuck because it's not moving. So basically, that is what happens to these. And anyway, the long story short, not to ramble on, but the Mangird Tea is notorious for having driver failures. So one of the failure modes is the moisture ingress, the deformation of the dome can get the DD stuck, and so it cannot create sound. And what you'll notice is there'll be changes in pressure. So as the pressure changes, sometimes you'll get bass, and then bass will go away, and then it'll come back again. It's because you're deforming the diaphragm enough that it allows it to move within the gap of the magnet. It allows the voice coil to move within the gap of the magnet. Come on. So you might even notice, I don't know, it looks like it's kind of off, like it's at an angle. Yeah, there we go. See, it's like, yeah, it's stuck. See, if I push over here, you can see it moves. If I push over here, it doesn't move at all. Anyway, long story short, so that's one of the failure modes. The other failure mode is this potting here. You can see a little bit of a copper wire there. But yeah, the copper wires that run in here, sometimes they're nicked or whatever, and I don't know if it's too much power draw, too much power going through them, but they can break, and sometimes you'll have to pull up this coating and heat up the terminals, and sometimes you'll have a break, like one of mine had a break further down here. Sometimes they'll put the coating on here and the wires will still be showing through the coating, and so yeah, there are various problems with these. Let me open it up real quick. I'll just show you guys inside, because this one's defective anyway. I can't do anything with it. Another IEM that uses this DD is the Mofasist Trio. It is a $500 tribrid from Pennon, and it's 1DD, 2BA, 2 EST, and basically it uses the same exact DD. There we go. Alright. So here we go. Alright. So here's a better look at it. So you can see the fibers. I don't know what that is. Sorry guys, that's gross. Anyway, so yeah, so you can see the fiber material. Here's the dome, and now you can see it's moving freely once I removed it from the magnet. So there's something happening, some deformation that made it lodged inside the magnet. And this is the material I was telling you about. It's like, I guess this is what they call the PU, which is like a rubber material. It's like the same thing. It's like, oh, PU, polyurethane, derp. Yeah, so polyurethane. It's like similar to like what they make like rubber gloves out of. But anyway, yeah, you can see there's a coating on the DD. You can see how it's like shiny, but you can see some areas are, you can deform them easily. Other areas are like hard. See them like poking over there? It's totally hard. Anyway, moisture kills them. So as for the BA are pretty good. They're nulls, they're shielded, so you can see they're magnetically shielded, because if you put a DD too close to a BA, it can introduce magnetic flux into the DD. It's not very, into the BA. It's not too likely, and the effect isn't too much, but if you squeeze them close enough together, it can affect the performance of it. So sometimes you want to get shielded BA. So these are shielded. This is basically just a piece of metal that wraps around the top of the BA. And then here we have a single unit. So here you go. Here you can read the model. So this is the model BA that's in the Mangird Tea. And it is, let's see, so 26 UA01C-7G. So 26 UA01C-7G. Pretty sure that's the one. Right? I'm not sure, but anyway, so these are the BA that are in the Mangird Tea. They're not vented. They're 3-terminal. I'm not sure if the middle terminal is a half coil or not. So basically you have positive, negative, and you have center tap. It's like the same thing as a transformer. So if you connect from one end to the other, you have full volume. If you connect from one to the middle, you get half volume. So it's handy if you're making an IEM and you want to tune it, and you don't want to add a bunch of components, and the sensitivities don't match up very well, you can just do a half coil. So there's a lot of IEMs that do that. So, just to recap, those are the BA that are inside, along with the 33518s, and then you have your DD. These are some that I customized. So one issue with the Manger T is the DDs are not vented. So these are my own custom caps that I made. They're resin caps with a vent, and oops, here's the back, and you notice they have a different dampener. This was the dampener that was being used on the Mofessist Trio. That's why it looks different. But yeah, so those are the components in the Mangird Tea. So if you find that interesting, I hope you like that. The nozzle, I'm not sure who makes these. I always wanted to try to get a hold of hardware like this. Basically what I do now is anytime I take apart an IEM, I always save hardware like this. But I always like IEMs with metal nozzles. They feel a little bit better, a little higher quality. So yeah, so basically all the parts that they used are really high quality, good parts, but there's a problem with the DD. So if you ever own a pair of Mangird Tea, the most basic piece of advice I can give you is buy an IEM dryer. Go on AliExpress and go pick up an IEM dryer, and whenever you go, like if you live in a hot or humid climate, even if you don't, pick up a dryer, and whenever you're done with like long periods of usage, put the IEM in the dryer, or put it in a sealed container with a desiccant. If you put it in a sealed container with a desiccant, it's the same thing as a dryer, and basically what that'll do is that'll suck out all the moisture that gets built up within the IEM itself. Because anytime, so your body secretes moisture, especially your ears, and what happens is, and some IEMs you can notice it with, others not, but when you listen to the IEM for a long period of time, if you ever pull it out, you'll notice moisture buildup within this tube here. So basically, as the sound moves, as the pressure moves back and forth, it draws in moisture within the cavity, and this little dampener here is a piece of mesh screen, but some of the particles can still easily move past, and what they do is they move past and they go up into the drivers. Now the BAs are rated for moisture ingress. A lot of them are rated for like 100% moisture ingress. Now you can't just dump a bunch of water into them, because that won't be good for them, but they can be in a humid, 100% humidity environment and suffer no negative effects, because they have a special coating on the diaphragms. So that's fine. But the dynamic drivers, some of them depends on the type, but this material in particular is very susceptible to moisture, and that is why they die. An interesting side note, these mesh vents right here, so let me take the other one out of my ear. So you see one is red and one is blue. These mesh screens are actually hearing aid filters. They're to keep debris out. You can buy them on Amazon. They come in these like little blister packs that are like round, and it's like a clock almost, like a wheel, and it's just got a bunch of them in there. But it's kind of neat that they repurpose those for vents in some earlier IEMs. You don't see them as much nowadays, but back in the day you used to see a lot of these. And yeah, it's basically just a filter for a hearing aid, and they repurposed it and used it for a IEM vent. Another thing with the moisture, so you can tell that these IEMs have been used very heavily. They've been very, very well loved, I should say, but you can see there is some signs of oxidization. So like you can see the metal's not quite shimmery. It's kind of dull. So that's another sign that shows me that these have been exposed to a lot of moisture. Fortunately enough, one of the DDs is still good, but the other one inside this unit is bad. So that out of there. All right. So without further ado, let's break into this bad boy and take a look inside. I know I kind of spoiled it for you guys by showing you the parts, but whatever. Figure some people would find that interesting to see the parts by themselves. Trying to see how to go about this. So, sorry guys, I'm going to try to do this and get you in camera at the same time without cutting myself. Alright. Like I said, whenever you're taking the faceplate off an IEM, best thing to do is to find the seam and apply pressure and just kind of slice into it like butter. And you'll notice, you'll see here, come on, get in focus. It's nice and clean. There's no cuts, like major breaks in the resin. Okay, you see it's like nice and clean. There's a little bit right here where I just kind of dug into it initially. I kind of saw into it a little bit just to kind of get my blade to dig into it. But yeah, you can see nice clean cut. Just kind of sliced it like a sheet of bread. And as far as the blades that I use, so these are the blades. You can see brand new razor knife, nice and sharp. And as far as if you haven't already seen in one of the videos I posted earlier, I buy these off the dollar store. They're $1. It's a craft knife set. You get 6 blades and a handle. You can buy these off of AliExpress. They come with different blades. They're all numbered for the various blades. But yeah, super handy. These are awesome for taking apart IEMs. I've gone through countless blades. See? Yeah, there's like maybe 100 in there. Alright, so for the IEM, take a look inside. So, let me get a pointing device. I'll use this again. So, sorry, I'm trying to get a good look at it without a lot of glare. So those are the two 33518s. There's our 426 AUC017, whatever the hell, Sonian. This potting here, this potting is like some kind of rubber material. You see, I can poke into it. Okay, I don't know what it is. I'm really glad that they used it because it's easy to remove, and it's good for shock. Like, it keeps them from shock damage. But if anybody knows what this material is, please put it in the comments and let me know, because I would like to get some to put in my IEMs. But yeah, some sort of like epoxy rubber compound. But yeah, you can just dig right into it, and that's actually how I took my first pair apart. Is I literally just dug into them and just dug out all the potting compound, dug around all the BA until I was able to kind of pull them out. But yep, so there's the DD. With these, couple other things, just little side notes. I don't know if you can see that. There is a resistor attached to the back of the driver. It's 0805. I don't ever recommend attaching them this way. Yeah, it's solid, it's not going to go anywhere. But if the person who built these was doing it on a Friday or something and the connection isn't very good, or these take a drop, this could easily snap off. And you can also see it's great because it's neat, and this is proper IEM manufacture. They're very, very well assembled. You know, you can see how all the pairs of wires are braided. They're all twisted, wrapped together very neatly. But it's so tight that any kind of mechanical movement, and you can see how the DD just kind of floats around in there. It's not glued down, it's kind of just sandwiched. Some DD, you'll see them, they'll add a little bit of resin around like the ring or the outer area, I don't know, the circumference of the DD. Sometimes they'll add a little dab of epoxy right there, or resin. They don't do that in this one, so it just, you know, it has the ability to move around, and it's so tight that, you know, one of them could easily come off. So I don't know, I recommend that any company that sees this, or any of you guys, if you're into DIY, just do yourself a favor, do other people a favor too. Just leave a little bit of slack here. Don't wrap it so tight, and don't ever solder components directly onto the drivers, unless you're soldering both terminals. This is just floating. It's soldered to the DD on one side, and then the wire is soldered to the other side here. So anyway, just a note, just a thought. One of the issues with taking these apart, and actually you can see, there you go. You can see the, so now since the back's off, you can see the capacitors. These IEMs, they're really well made. I mean, they're amazing how well made they are. And these are all made by hand. But they're all shrink wrapped. So there's heat shrink tubing that they put over them to protect the connections after they solder them. Like I said, all the wires are twisted. They're all nicely stuffed in there. So yeah, these guys, whoever built these IEMs did a really fine job. And all this is done by hand. Even the casting, this molding, this was all made by hand. This was cured by hand in a UV chamber. This is agar resin. The connector was either cut out by hand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was cut out by hand and placed inside. Same thing with the dampener. These are not 3D printed. Like all this stuff, this metal nozzle here was attached to the resin and then bonded to it, and you can see when they put the lacquer on, they just went right up to the edge. I mean, it's beautiful construction. They really did a wonderful job on these. You can kind of see I do my own IEMs, and I started getting into it. So this is 3D printed resin. You can see I started working with the 2-pin connectors. These aren't finished, but I had to do this all by hand. So same exact process. Took a mold, poured the resin in the mold, I cured it. This is what I came out with. My layer is really thin. I need to thicken it up a little bit. But there's some imperfections, but basically what I do is after I'm done assembling them, I sand them down, and then I coat them with a coating of lacquer. But yeah, it's just really nice, the work that they did. You can see since these were a mold of another IEM, this is actually a mold that I took of the Audio Legacy 2. You can see there's some marks from the vents and stuff that are still there. So just some molding marks. It's useful if I ever add a vent. Let me see. Yeah, so these are some other ones that I'm working on. So you can see I have the connector, and I embedded the connector in resin, kind of like they did. I have the vent for the DD, so the same shell. This is the Legacy 2 shell. So I have the vent for the DD that comes out and goes into the cap for the DD. This is 3D printed cap. I didn't 3D print it, I just took it from another IEM. But now I know how to make them, so if I ever want to, I can just 3D print my own. And then a vent that I had to drill out the hole for, put the vent in. Same thing with these. I just need to sand them down when they're finished. But yeah, there's a lot of work that goes into these. There's a lot of work. So, and all this is done by hand. Everything. It's all done by hand. So I have a great appreciation for the work that these that these people do. But anyway, so I will probably leave it at this for now. One last thing I'll cover are the dampeners. I actually have the dampener values here. I will tell you guys if you guys ever decide you want to make your own. Let's see. I figure this IEM's old enough, and they already made an upgrade model. So if anybody wants to try their hand out this, they can. So you have the 10mm biocrystalline driver. You can use any other driver, it doesn't matter. Use whatever the fuck you want. You want to use CNT, fucking DLC, beryllium, PET, whatever. Go ahead, have fun. So the filters are white. So on the 33518s, the treble BA, there are no dampeners. That's how I make my IEMs, and I completely agree with how they're doing it. So no dampener on the 33518. That's the way they sound best. The 2600 series BA, the 26AU, whatever the hell it is, this thing right here. The 26AU. Oh no, 26UA01C-7G. That is using white dampener, and then there's no dampener on the DD. Yep, no dampener on the DD. Forgot about that. So they're running that in full range. On the 33518, there's a 10 ohm resistor, a 33 microfarad, or sorry, 0.033 microfarad capacitor. On the Sonian BA, there's a 10 ohm resistor with a 6.8 microfarad capacitor, and then on the DD, it's just a 10 ohm resistor. So 10 ohm resistor on all of them, right? On the 33518. Yeah. So 10 ohm on every single one of them, and then yeah, the capacitors. I should have wrote down the actual numbers, but this is before I did that. I just wrote down the actual value. But yeah. Anyway, one last thing I'll do real quick. And eventually, let me know if you guys want me to do a live stream or something, since I kind of have this setup going a little different now. It's a little easier for you guys to see, and I can actually see what I'm doing along with it. Yeah, if you guys ever want to see, me do some work on camera and do like a live stream back and forth, like Q&A or whatever, let me know. Come on. Oh yeah, there's a little gunk in there. Alright, so there you go. So I will quickly explain this to you guys, just in case you're not sure what you're looking at. The bottom tube, which is kind of squished a little bit. I'm not sure why it's squished. It's like resin or something on there. But anyway, so sorry, let me get this piece off. It's bothering me. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, so whenever I see crap like that, it kinda bothers me. Alright, so the bottom tube is the treble. That's the 33518s. Normally I like to put my treble tube somewhere like up here. I like my my port of the mids to be like on the bottom. But anyway, so the DD is right there. It's that little tube, little baby tube. I think they're using a not a 1mm tube. I think they're using smaller than 1mm, because I have yet to find tube that small, and I'm pretty sure my 1mm tube is way bigger than that actually. Yeah, that's way smaller. So yeah, they're using like 0.5 or like 0.8mm tube for the DD. Oh, that's some tiny stuff. But anyway, so yeah, so the base, all the base comes out of this little itty bitty hole right there. So that's where the base comes from. And then you have your two sets of mid BAs, because there's 2 per side, 4 altogether. So you have your Sonians, all your mids come out of these 2 holes here. And then you have your treble, which comes out of this squished bottom hole here. It almost looks like a face. It's like a face with a third eye. But yeah, so treble, mids come out of these 2, and then all the bass. All the bass comes out of that little bitty hole up there. And you can see there's a little bitty hole right there. And the tube goes up into the DD, bloop, up there, and then your 2 mid holes. So you see the mid hole right there. Tube goes bloop, dampener, mid BA. Same thing on the other side, dampener. It's kind of hard to see with the reflection. But yeah, there you go. Dampener, mid tube, and then your treble BA, and then squish tube, treble. So, alright guys, hope you enjoyed that kind of look around. If I have any further updates, I will try to make more videos. I still have the Anole VX that I need to seal up. I'm actually literally just waiting for the time to film it for you guys, because I didn't want to just do it and then, because I have a really bad habit of just doing things, being like, oh, I just want to get it over with, and then I can't like ever get it on camera. So in the next video we will reattach the faceplates and we'll get this guy back together. So if you haven't seen that video, I replaced the base BA because I bought these for $650 and this unit was broken. It had a gaping hole over here, and then I broke the resin like back here, so this whole back piece section was missing. But anyway, long story short, replaced the BA in here, and then they were unbalanced. There was too much bass in this side and not enough bass in this side, so I ended up doing this side so both sides were even, and then I just filmed it for you guys so you guys could see it. Had a couple little issues, wire that broke on me, some other things. Had trouble getting the tubes to fit on, but ended up making it work. The repair looks great. They sound great. They both sound awesome. No issues whatsoever. So all that's left is to seal them up. And oh, I even bought a broken IEM recently, and it came with this QDC cable. So how cool is that? So I got 2 of them. Just some random IEM that I bought came with a QDC cable. As for other projects, I was going to film a video on this, but then I decided against it because I managed to fix them. I'll just show you this real quick. So this is the Aiderlot, AIDERLOT M5. It is a 5BA IEM. I'm not sure if the shell's 3D printed, but all the tubes in the middle are 3D printed. Crossover board there. Anyway, one of the units was defective. This one right here. It's a blend of Knowles, I believe Knowles, Belzing, and E-Audio maybe? I'm not sure if that's E-Audio. That may be another Belzing. But these are definitely Belzing, and then Knowles. But I wasn't making any bass. Anywho, I started taking it apart. I realized that the IEM was fully potted, and it was going to be a huge pain in the ass to repair. So basically I took it and slammed it on the table as hard as I could, and it started working again. And it sounds fine. So I don't know how long it'll last, but it's working. So I'm not going to deal with it. And it's got this really cool feature where the nozzles screw off, and there's a little dampener in there for the bass, and you can change out the nozzles, nozzle filters for whatever you want. It's mid, bass, mid, and high. So they sound okay. They're not great. They prove my story of using only Knowles or better for treble BA, because the treble, anything from like I don't know, 5K up just sounds like bleh. Just ugh. No life to it. Boring. No extension. Just kind of eh. When you graph them, they go all the way off the chart, but when you listen to them, they just don't sound good. So lesson of the day: if you're a IEM builder or a DIYer, 33518 or better. Don't use anything else. Don't use e-audio. I mean, well, you can use e-audio, but don't use Belsing. Whatever you do, don't use Belsing. You can use them for mids, you can use them for bass, you can use Belsing for anything else. You can use them for full range, but do not use any cheaper BA brand for treble. Just go straight to the best, which is Knowles or Sonian. So, alright guys, take care. That's enough of me. And I will have something else for you guys soon. See ya.